Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adigunloye. Let's begin with the headlines. Planned nationwide protests. President Bola Tinubu engages leadership of Nigerian Labour Congress as union leaders resort to extensive consultations. Senate approves 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu flags off disbursement of 200,000 naira each to 9,500 senior citizens nationwide. And Central Bank of Nigeria revokes licenses of ASO Savings and Union Homes. Let's begin at the State House, where President Bola Tinubu has met with the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress over its planned National Day of Protest. Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, Monday Okpebolo of Edo, and Nasir Idris of Kebbi led the Labour leaders into the presidential villa. The NLC plans a national demonstration this Wednesday over what it described as a democratic demand for the fundamental right to life and security. The union had also highlighted the deaths of members amid insecurity as part of the reasons. The meeting between the president and the Labour leaders lasted about 40 minutes behind closed doors. State House correspondent Musbao Damahab reports that after the meeting, participants said consultations will continue on the matter. Minister of State, Labour and Employment Nkeruka Onyejocha revealed that President Tinubu took time to explain various efforts of the government towards addressing the security situation and the economy.
How was the meeting with the president?
We came for consultation with the president and we have finished. So we have to go back to our meeting and then continue tomorrow. By tomorrow we will get the outcome.
Okay. Are you still insisting on your protest?
If I'm insisting or I'm not insisting, I will communicate to you. It's not an organization that one person rules. Let's go back. Now you have a meeting of Labour and the Governors Forum. We'll go back to the drawing board and digest all that Mr. President said to us and move forward from there.
All right, thank you.
Consultation is going on. We were dialoguing. Like he said, at the end of the day, you know what you are supposed to know and what you want to know.
Citizens who are also members of NLC wanted to see Mr. President, and they've seen Mr. President. And of course, you know, they are happy they've seen Mr. President and they've had firsthand that at least the president has driven the economy out of the woods. So it's a very good news.
And to the National Assembly now, as both the executive and the legislature finalise plans for the presentation of the 2026 budget estimates to the National Assembly, the Senate has passed the 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which indicates 54.46 trillion naira as proposed revenue and expenditure for the incoming year. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the approval is as recommended by the Senate Committee on Finance, which describes the economic and fiscal estimates as realistic.
The approval of the three-year economic and revenue projections came 24 hours after the Senate Committee on Finance interacted with the National Economic Team and heads of key revenue-generating agencies. The Chairman Senate Committee on Finance said Senate is in agreement with all the estimates except the projected crude oil benchmark, which it brought down due to market volatility.
Prices of 64.85, 64.30 and 65.50 US dollars per barrel for 2026, 2027 and 2028 respectively be reduced to $60 for 2026, $65 for 2027, and $70 for 2028. This is in recognition of the global geopolitical tensions in Europe and the Middle East and the sensitivity of global crude oil prices.
These figures are very, very realistic, having regard to our present-day economic circumstance.
Only other area that I would just think that we should be very cautious about is in the area of the daily production as well, because our average production is still about 1.6.
If for any reason at all the circumstances change, this will still be represented to us and the House of Representatives for us to either amend, reject, or add or subtract.
Other executive requests granted by the Senate include confirmation of appointees, among them 3 non-carrier ambassadors. Another key feature at Tuesday's plenary is the appeal from the Senate urging federal and state government intervention in support of local farmers whose survival is threatened by multiple factors, as solicited in a motion from Senator Danjuma Goje.
Nigeria's growing dependence on food import will weaken national food sovereignty, undermine domestic value chain, distort local markets, as well as discourage the development of agro-processing industries, thereby exposing the national economy to global price volatility and foreign exchange pressures.
When we talk about federal government, what happened to the subnationals? What are the state government doing in terms of supporting the farmers in the respective states? This is very important.
Meanwhile, Senate has asked the National Security Advisor and Department of State Services to investigate fake reports circulated on social media that the President of the Senate suffered a health emergency and was rushed to a hospital in London.
The former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, was equally reported a few days ago to have died. This is not a good report about the leaders of our country. Not just investigate, but to punish the promoters of such negative news. Those in support say aye, those against say nay. That is it. I think that's all we can do. You can't stop people from writing. You know, the internet is garbage in, garbage out.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has expressed concern over continued uncertainty surrounding the delayed clearance of the Nigerian Air Force C-130 aircraft and its crew in neighboring Burkina Faso, urging the federal government to leverage ECOWAS and African Union frameworks to resolve the issue. National Assembly correspondent Tariq Ekmen reports that the House also engaged the federal government's economic management team on the 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework submitted by President Bola Tinubu.
Members of the House Committees on Finance and National Planning took on the Ministers of Finance and his budget counterpart on the key parameters of the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which outlines projected expenditure of 54.5 trillion naira for 2026, with projected revenue estimated at 34.3 trillion naira. Lawmakers urged revenue-generating agencies to plug all loopholes that accounted for revenue shortfalls this year.
The NPC gave you PPC, number 33. The 2035 is 6.5 trillion. And the 2026, we put almost 7.9 trillion.
We need to look to try to bring in this revenue, which is very much needed, but we must also keep an eye on the fact that how would we adjust in the event that it is not forthcoming.
Our assumptions we believe are reasonable. And where there is underperformance in any of these heads, that is where we need to interrogate and see why is it not bringing the revenue.
On the delayed clearance of the Nigerian Air Force C-130 aircraft in Burkina Faso, the House emphasizes protection of Nigeria's sovereignty as well as national security interests.
Mandate the House of Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defense, Nigerian Air Force, and National Security to jointly interface with the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of External Affairs, and other relevant intelligence agencies to ensure prompt resolution of all issues related to the aircraft and its crew.
We need to also look in the direction of retooling our foreign service, our diplomatic channels.
The need to expand the Abuja-Lokoja highway was highlighted in another resolution as the House advocates its inclusion as a priority project in the next national budget.
Relevant agency to immediately open the closed section of Gogolada, Abaji, Kotonkarifi, Lokoja Expressway, particularly during these Xmas, to ease traffic and congestion for travelers. 9
bills, mostly seeking establishment of federal medical centers in parts of the country, were passed in plenary, while a bill to establish the Federal Capital Territory Scholarship Board scaled second reading. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikwen, NTA News.
Away from the National Assembly, the Central Bank of Nigeria has revoked the operational licenses of Vaso Savings and Loans PLC and Union Home Savings and Loans PLC. A statement by the Acting Director, Corporate Communications of the bank, Hakama Sidi Ali, said the action, taken under BOFIA 2020 and the revised guidelines for mortgage banks, was due to multiple regulatory violations. These include failure to meet minimum capital requirements, insufficient assets to cover liabilities, poor capital adequacy, and non-compliance with regulatory directives. The Apex Bank says the move is part of efforts to strengthen the mortgage subsector and ensure financial system stability. You're watching the news. It's 10 on NTA News 24. Welcome back. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has flagged off the disbursements of 200,000 naira each to 9,500 senior citizens nationwide under the Renewed Hope Initiative Elder Support Scheme Season 3. At a ceremony in Abuja where she handed out the donation to 250 beneficiaries, the First Lady said it is crucial to prioritize the aged who cleared the paths for the younger generations. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Since 2023, December each year has become associated with financial empowerment for senior citizens across the country.
I'm not doing any other thing apart from the little pension I receive.
Flight Sergeant Abasi Essien, retired, was working out how to apply his meager pension during the Yuletide season amid the unique demands of the month of January when he got a call inviting him to the third Renewed Hope Initiative Elder Support Scheme.
This is the first time I say, apart from my pension, I've received any other thing. Because today that are being remembered. Oh.
His account reflects the theme of the edition, Finding Joy in Old Age, which was flagged off nationwide by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu at the Mambila Barracks, Abuja, with 250 defense and police veterans.
Through this scheme, we have continued to express our gratitude and care for the men and women who have labored to build the Nigeria we are all proud to be part of today. These 9,500 selected beneficiaries will receive 200,000 naira each across the nation. Each state of the Federation has received the sum of 50 million naira, including FCT and DIPOA.
She says the intervention under the Social Investment Program of RHI embodies ongoing efforts to ensure that elderly citizens live with dignity and joy in a nation that genuinely cares for its own.
My advice to our senior citizens is to do all that is possible to find joy in old age. Let us also find purpose in community, compassion, and care. I encourage you to continue playing your parts by staying healthy and active.
The Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme stands as a powerful demonstration that national service is not forgotten with age or retirement.
And today's support scheme further demonstrates your deep understanding of the sacrifices made by our elderly defense and police veterans.
The gift was well received along with its intended message.
It's a relief, especially coming at this time of the year, Christmas, and then by next year you begin to think of, trying to survive the expenses that you made during this Yuletide.
Now nobody will send her out. Of course, more for school fees. Then the other one, buy other things in the house to make January look good for us.
I put some in my business. Then I use so that I will not finish everything at time. After Christmas, we don't have what to eat again. So I'm going to use it very, very well.
Morning, officer, sir.
Apart from providing financial support and food items, the intervention also tended to the physical well-being of the beneficiaries with a free medical outreach. From Alero Aziza Event Center, Mambila Barracks, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
The board and management of the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital say the institution remains resolute in sustaining its achievements in safe motherhood, life-saving interventions and the delivery of high-quality healthcare services to residents of the Federal Capital Territory and Nigerians at large. Olusheye Adiagbo reports that this formed the focus of remarks as the hospital celebrated hard work and excellence in service delivery during the university's 2025 Staff Award Day held at the hospital's permanent site in Gwagwalada, Abuja.
In a rare display of courage and selfless service, Usman Miriam, a frontline health worker at the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, emerged overall best staff of the year after risking her life to save patients during a fire outbreak.
And before you know it, everywhere was filled with smoke. At first, I went outside. Then I remember we have like 4 fresh post-op, that's post-operative patients that we are even yet to give drugs to. And then I felt that this is my calling. In fact, in this kind of situation, I cannot run away because I'm here to serve humanity.
Patients in the postnatal ward safely.
The narrative of Marian's bravery and quick response were credited with preventing what could have been a major tragedy. Leadership of the hospital say programs of the institution align with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on health, particularly in reducing maternal mortality and improving overall population health outcomes.
The pharmacy department we have a unit that's into production, and we're looking forward to making sure where they produce everything we need. Today, we're producing 14 items, including morphine. So not only are we producing it for ourselves, we're looking forward to be able to produce for the outside market.
When we looked at our postnatal activity in the labor ward, we discovered that it was barely 0.4 deaths that were recorded out of thousands of people that have delivered through our hospital. So for us, that's a very huge achievement, and we want to build on those things.
The day was also about these men and women in separate departments of the hospital for professionalism, excellence, and commitment to the ideals of health service, and bagged award for outstanding performance. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Let's go to Kogi State now, where Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has announced the recovery of a large cache of arms and ammunition from criminal hideouts during a recent joint security operation in the state. The governor, who made this known while briefing journalists in Lokoja, explained that the operation followed a week of sustained intelligence gathering by security agencies working in synergy with the state government. Jibola Christopher reports.
Governor Dodo says the renewed offensive against criminal element was reinvigorated after the recent meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who challenged him to intensify effort to secure the state. Governor Dodo says security operatives carried out a coordinated overnight operations that led to the discovery of a major criminal hideout where large cache of weapons were stored.
To conclusion from our security council meeting this morning, once again, to let the entire public know that we are ready to serve our people, we are ready to confront them we will take fight to them in their hideouts. Wherever you are, be prepared. We are coming. We will never be deterred.
Governor Dodo says the recovery of the arms is a major breakthrough. Items recovered during the operation include 24 AK-47 rifles, 23 pump-action rifles, 1 Tavor rifles, 1 FN rifle, 4 Browning rifles, 42 magazines, 520 rounds of GPMG 7.62 ammunition, and large quantity of AK-47 ammunition, cartridges for pump actions, and Barrett pistols, among others. Governor Dodo describes the recovery as a result of a joint operation involving multiple security agencies acting on credible intelligence. He urges the people not to panic, saying citizens should go about their lawful businesses. Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force has dismissed claims that it is restrained by a court order from enforcing the tinted glass permit policy, insisting that enforcement remains lawful and necessary for public safety. At the IRT office, the force public relations officer explained that at no point did any court stop the police from enforcing the policy. He said that the court order being widely circulated was misinterpreted, noting that the injunction only directed parties to maintain the status quo, but ongoing enforcement, not suspension.
The mandate of the police is to protect life and property. We would not fold our arms and watch things degenerate. We'll do what needs to be done. Until the court makes a clear pronouncement, we will continue enforcement of this tinted permit policy.
In other news, the present administration has reaffirmed its commitment to harnessing technology as a powerful tool for delivering developmental programs and essential services that directly improve the lives of Nigerians, including those in rural and underserved communities. Central to this drive is the promotion of accountable, transparent and efficient governance. These issues took center stage during a visit by the presidential media team to Galaxy Backbone, the federal government's Information and Communications Technology Solutions Agency. Chimdima Ndebisi reports.
A tour of facilities at the Galaxy Backbone by the presidential media team, an impressive expression that the government entity has the capacity to deliver critical ICT infrastructure, solutions, services, and data hosting for government entities as well as the private sector. Services described as vital at a time when government agencies are rapidly transitioning from analog systems to digital platforms to enhance efficiency, transparency, and service delivery.
What you have there is to me mind-blowing. It's a shame that in Nigeria people are still using some servers outside Nigeria, saying that they are more reliable. But if you have a facility here that works 24/7, there's no reason why all of us should not be using Galaxy Backbone as our main server. I think we should market it more to the private sector.
We are talking of over 5,000 kilometers of fiber that runs across 30 states. We are a platform to secure ICT solutions, software, and applications.
Among the suggestions was a call for rebranding. This, the team noted, would help attract greater patronage from the private sector and subnational governments. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
We're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24.